Will technologies like these that aim to immerse us even more into a digital world improve the quality of our lives? A lot of experts are wary. They say our immersion in technology is already a problem. Look at kids today. They're listening to music while texting a friend, having a conversation on Facebook, and doing their homework. In other words, multitasking. Can their brains keep up with all this connectivity? Stanford professor Clifford Nass thinks they can't. That doing so many things at once is making it harder for them to focus. And he's devised a test to prove it.
What we're going to ask you to do is to simply focus on a couple of red rectangles and to ignore blue rectangles. This sounds like a pretty easy thing to do.
Yeah, I'm down with this.
And we'll see how you do.
As I start the test, 2 images containing red and blue rectangles flash on the screen. If the red rectangles move from one image to the next, I press one button. But if they don't move, I press another. Simple, right? That changed. Well, it is. At first. Jeez, there's like 1,500 of them. But as more and more rectangles appear on the screen, it becomes harder and harder to focus on the red ones and ignore the blue. Come on! Criminy.
You completed the filtering task study. You've made some careless mistakes. You feel like an idiot.
But before I can find out how much of an idiot I was, Nass gives the same test to 16-year-old Jordan Ford. Jordan is a proud multitasker and doesn't think it affects his ability to focus at all.
All right, well, let's see how you guys did.
All right. Give it to me straight, Doc. How long have I got?
Well, I'm going to keep you in suspense. Let's look at Jordan first. So what we see on this graph is a pretty precipitous downward slide.
Yeah.
So the more rectangles there were, the worse you did. This is a very, very common pattern we see among teenagers who multitask frequently, because their brains are constantly looking all over the place and trying to process multiple things at once, even when they know they shouldn't. Now let's see, David, how you did. And that's this blue line here. And what we see is, oh, I am impressed.
Smoked. Sorry, pal.
Even though you're a heavy technology guy, when you use technology, you do one thing at a time. You really focus on what you're doing. And what we see here is a pretty predominant difference. So what we worry about here is, Jordan, when you really need to focus attention on something, it's going to be harder and harder.
Parents have been saying, quit using X technology, you'll rot your brain, since my grandparents' time. You know, like the cavemen were probably, quit making fire with sticks, you'll rot your brain, right? It's a chronic thing to be suspicious of new technology, to worry about the effects. So, should we really worry yet?
Well, it's silly to say to a child, stop using the computer.
Right.
You know, just as it's silly to say stop using fire. But, you know, you shouldn't play with fire when there's dry brush around. With any new technology, we should be both excited and we should worry because it often brings some negative things as well. So the question is, how do we balance the two? That's really the critical issue.
It's pushing us against a moral imperative. You know, not every advance is progress. Not every new thing you can do with this incredible technology is better for us humanly.
So where is all this technology leading us? If digital information is becoming even more available to us, and even more immersive and distracting, are we headed to a future where we don't actually learn things anymore? Are we headed for a world like in the movie WALL-E, where humans are such passive consumers of technology that we become dumb and helpless? Is this what the future will be like? Will the pogues of tomorrow turn into lazy couch potatoes?